right, so who do I have here with me today?
Jen.
Jen, how you doing, Jen? Nice to meet you. Even though I've seen you around here for a while.
I'm here.
How old are you and what's your current living situation?
I'm 43 and I live in the River Bottom.
River Bottom? Wow, I always hear about the River Bottom. They say there's been people who've been there for about 20 years. You can either answer that or not. It's up to you.
Yeah,
Wow.
there were anyways. There were.
Yeah.
Right now there's like maybe 20.
About 20.
Yeah. Totally. It's so scary.
Yeah, so what's a day in a life like out here for you? Is it scary? Is the river bottom scary? I mean, especially being a woman.
Just being a woman isn't that bad when I'm a single woman. That I have my kids. So I have my oldest son who's in prison. He's doing
Sorry to hear that.
He's doing 3.5 years, and then they page student him. So they added 5 more on top. So I don't get to see him for almost 9 years.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Don't you hate page twos? Like, it's so crazy because you could be getting out,
And then they just
nowhere,
right back in.
They sent you back to county. That's horrible.
He spent
man.
almost
I'm so
another year in
sorry.
county. As when they page student him, he spent
fighting it?
a year.
Oh,
From when
man,
they pulled him out of Alhambra and brought him back.
Man, I'm so
He was
sorry.
11 and a half months in county.
Do you know what he did, if you don't mind me asking?
He has a list of shit. He's a talented little boy.
Draw and everything, I bet.
He can draw, he can sing, he can skateboard, he can play. Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. How old is he, if you don't mind me asking?
He's 23,
Yeah, he's a youngster. Man.
and then I have my 22-year-old who's out here with me, and he battles addiction hard. And then my 21-year-old is married and has a baby boy and another one on the way.
And how old were you, if you don't mind me asking again?
43.
43? Ooh, wow, you look young. So that's wild. 20-years.
Yeah.
How was it trying to raise?
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
It was awesome. Even when we didn't have anywhere else, it was awesome. We had each other, and for us and our family, that was enough. We were enough. We didn't need outside people. We didn't need video games. We didn't need anything.
And that's how it usually is.
had fun.
You know?
We had fun.
Yeah, I bet that's how it usually is. You know, when you don't really come from much. You know, you just
have to
really
use
need
your
each
head.
other. Yeah, you have to use your head. Like we used to do crazy stuff as a kid, like sugar on bread. Or
Yes.
we used to pretend,
Oh my God.
open the cupboards and pretend that there was
There's
food
food
in there.
Yes. So much fun.
Hey, you're the
and we
only
have the
other
best food.
person. You're the only other person that I've told that to who didn't look at me like I was crazy.
No, we had the best food too. My cupboards were always full.
Yeah. That's crazy, huh? Yeah, I remember those nights.
It was a lot of fun.
I really do. Opening the refrigerator, like, please be some.
Yes, and you do it like 20 times in a row in less than a minute, just because. Please.
Yeah. Yep. I know. So you were touching on what it's like being out here as a single woman. What is it like? I mean, it's scary. I mean,
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. There's like I hang around with mostly men because women are treacherous.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a few guys that I can trust, but that's it. A lot of the guys out here that
Yeah. Wow. That's awful.
they suck. They really suck.
Yeah, that's awful. So with it being so, treacherous and stuff out here, as it is everywhere, why is the camaraderie in Tempe just a little bit? It's like
We're a
few
family.
notches above the rest.
Because
and
we're a
not
family.
everywhere,
We're a dysfunctional family, but we're a family.
to say the least. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that, like, I don't, like I said earlier, I don't want you guys to get mad, but everywhere I go, like the slopes, 27th and Vandermeer and 51st, all over.
There's strife.
I tell them to come out to Tempe, especially if they have, the streets hasn't completely engulfed them.
Yeah,
I
please
tell
come
them
out.
come here because the camaraderie alone is enough to
But
me.
it's not just camaraderie. We have trust in each other. We know we're not going to hurt each other or screw each other over. When new people come in, a lot of times they'll rob you. And it's bullshit. But at the same time, if you don't extend that hand to say, hey, come on in, you don't know if that person's going to be different this time or whatever. I believe in that. I believe strongly in that.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think that
Forgiveness is key. It really
I
is.
believe in respect, and and being a moral, prudent, just a good humanitarian.
And you can't really prove respect
Can't.
and trust. Like, you have to give it
time.
freely. And then if they mess up, then you know,
That's different.
deal with it. But when you first meet someone, you can't just be like, oh God, no, I gotta go, because it's not right.
True.
It's not right. You have to open your arms and you have to welcome them in, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, true. So, would you say that you're like a mother figure around here? I see you, doing awesome things. Every time I've seen you, you're
love
either
to help.
making someone to play. You're like, you're just like a mother figure, and I mean, to me, that's amazing, just to say the least. Is that what you would consider yourself around here?
Yeah.
Somebody
When I
who
first
has-
got out here, like 11 years ago, we lived in shopping carts, We weren't out in the river bottom, so we were just out in town, and we'd go to the back of businesses when they'd close, and we'd try to sleep there. Every night, I would make the 5 beds for my family, and then I would make 13 more beds. We carried 4 shopping carts of just blankets and bedding. So everyone had a bed about this thick, because I wanted sleep is really important. It's really important to us, and we don't get that much of
It
it
is,
because it's
yeah.
not safe. So we kind of sleep in shifts or whatever. But I thought it was really important for everybody, so I would make everybody beds, and I didn't care who you were. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if you could have stabbed me in my back yesterday. I wouldn't have cared. If you need sleep, you can come to me, and I will make you a bed. And you're gonna get your 12.
Yeah,
and I'll make sure you
you're
get
an
12.
amazing person for that. I mean,
I try. Like, it's important. You can't do anything if you don't sleep.
So why is it like that? Why is sleep deprivation a big thing out here? And why do people steal so much? Like, people
Why do you
getting their
steal from people that
credentials-
have nothing?
Yeah, like it's so hard for people to have their credentials. Why is that out here? And why is people are having to
I don't know.
lean
I've
and
lived
count
everywhere.
on drugs just to
Survive? Just
to stay awake so
Yeah.
that they don't
So we
get
don't get
their
robbed.
stuff stolen.
Yeah. I don't know. I've lived all over the entire East Coast. Every state on the East Coast I've lived. And I've been homeless in every one of them,
Yeah.
including New York, which is where I'm from. So it gets really freaking cold.
That's another thing. What was life like prior to you being homeless? I mean, was there good moments there? Do you have a father, mother, things of
No,
that
I
nature?
don't. We don't talk about that part
Okay,
of
no
my life
problem.
because it's just not okay.
Okay, another big thing you touched on.
Thank you.
What brought you from New York to Arizona? I always gotta ask because in Arizona, like I told Old School, there's 90% of the homeless or displaced population is not even from Arizona.
No, they're really not, and it's fun to find out where everyone's from. It's really weird.
It's like a
I
thing.
met someone who's from the exact same hometown I am from, but there's an 8-year generation, difference between him and I.
Generational gap.
Yeah. It's still awesome. I want some of that. I want some of that.
Man, you gotta speak like you gotta speak or don't get fed.
Closed mouths don't get fed,
Closed
you
mouth,
know.
Yeah, there you go.
Lushes need to be lushed.
But to get back to it, I mean, was there a reason other than just like circumstantial situations that brought you out here, like a mom or a friend, a lover?
My sister-in-law.
Okay, yeah.
She, we got in trouble in Texas. Of course, I said I took the felony charges and I let everybody else go because that's what was right. That's just what was right, I didn't have a driver's license, I didn't have a job, and so, I thought I was doing what was better for my kids. And then I called my sister-in-law out here, and she came and got him.
Hey, you're amazing. Especially, you don't ever hear of anybody taking a felony or taking a charge from somebody. Especially,
it's my job. I'm his wife, so yeah,
Yeah.
I took my vows very seriously.
You are on the Subaru.
23 years.
Yeah. Wow, that is amazing. I mean, that's great. I mean, I know that it probably got you in trouble. It's not good that you got in trouble or whatever. But the fact that
I
you
did
were
it because
able
I could, and
to do that,
he physically, mentally, he's not stable enough to do that. He's still not. Like right now, he's really, really not.
Sorry.
And my middle son just got arrested.
Yeah, you were.
Sunday, I think. I'm scared though because he fought back,
Oh no.
and I don't know how bad they touched him because we can't get in to see him. Yeah, I don't know. We can't get to see him because we're all felons.
And to almost cut this short, how did the police and park rangers treat you guys up here?
They suck. They beat the shit out of us. They
I
come
didn't
out
laugh
here
because it's
off
funny.
duty.
It's just awful. It's almost, that's what I hear all the time.
Well, they come out here off duty when they're off duty, and they'll throw us into the bottom or they'll throw us into the trees, and it sucks.
Yeah. That's awful.
It sucks. It really does.
And it's almost like if it's becoming,
It's
a
common.
law not to be. A law to.
If you're
you can't
homeless,
be
it's illegal.
homeless.
Like you can't sit down or lay down on any public
your phone,
thoroughfare, public walkways, sidewalk. You can't sit down on the sidewalk
Yeah.
from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah. Yes,
Like,
ma'am.
why? It's hot. We're tired. Our feet hurt. Like, but we can't be here in the park for so long. We can only be in the Ramadas for 4 hours at a time. So what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
And it's hot. Like, this is Arizona, guys.
Yeah. Cook an egg on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and we're just gonna put them out there. Get.
That's awful. And to wrap this up, I always ask, where do you feel that, if you could think that far, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years from now? If that's,
Hopefully, being a sober grandma.
man, that was one of the best answers. And I knew, for some reason, I knew you were going to answer that just because you're wholesome, loving, caring way. I knew it. And that was an awesome answer. I want to just thank you for this interview. It was a blessing and a pleasure. Your smile is amazing. And just what you do for people, what I see every time I come here, it's almost like you're not thinking about you. You're thinking about everybody else. And that is, that's amazing. But last but not least, do you mind me putting this interview up on my social media platform so I can showcase and let people know that it's okay to come talk to you guys and things
It's
of that
absolutely
nature?
okay to come talk to us. I'm here at the Hill pretty much every day.
Yep. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.